अस्सलाम वालेकुम सज्जनों ते बेलियां ते मित्रां ते भरावां की हाल है जनाब तुहाडा ठीक हो तबीयत पानी सैट है जनाब ते मौला सलामत रखे पाकिस्तान नूं भी ते पाकिस्तान दी आवाम नूं भी इस तरह जनाब मौला सलामत रखे हसदा मुस्करांदा रखे अपने खर्चे ते आज़ाद रखे। ठीक हो गया जनाब। खान साहब ने कल बड़ा ज़बरदस्त इंटरव्यू दिया है जनाब। इंटरव्यू भी ऐसा दिया है ना, है ज़रा अंग्रेज़ी में हर बंदे को शायद समझ ना आए, लेकिन खान साहब ने अंग्रेज़ी भी ऐसी बोली है ना कि यकीन करें कि आपको समझ नहीं भी आएगी तो आप सुनेंगे तो आपको समझ आ जाएगी। ठीक है, तो आपने ये इंटरव्यू लाजमी देखना। इस इंटरव्यू ने पीडीएम हुकूमत की चीखें निकलवा दी हैं और भी जो ये कह रहे हैं कि खान साहब अब नहीं आ सकते उन लोगों की भी दौड़ें लगवा दी हैं। और ये आप इंटरव्यू सुने तो उसके बाद जनाब आपको समझ आ जाए कि खान साहब अगला वज़ीर आज़म पक्का है। पीटीआई की हुकूमत आई समझ आई जे बात दी। तो जनाब है वेखो ज़रा खान साहब का इंटरव्यू 10-15 मिनट का है तो लाजमी वेखो और इन्हें समझो। अगर नहीं समझ सकते तो किसी को सुन के समझ लो। जाओ जनाब वेखो।
Why should Americans care about the ongoing political turmoil and violence in Pakistan right now? Well, it's the fifth biggest country in the world. It's got nuclear weapons. It was one of the front lines in the so-called war on terror, and it's currently considered by our government to be a major non-NATO ally. And yet, ever since Imran Khan, the legendary Pakistani cricketer turned populist politician, was ejected from the Prime Minister's office last year in a very controversial parliamentary vote of no confidence, that country has been in the midst of an historic political and economic crisis. Khan, who remains hugely popular inside of Pakistan, has had more than 100 criminal cases thrown at him, from corruption to terrorism to blasphemy. And there has also been a vicious crackdown against members of his own political party. Khan's violent arrest outside a courthouse in May, later deemed by Pakistan's Supreme Court to be illegal, led to mass protests, to violence and death across the country. According to Human Rights Watch, while some of Khan's supporters did use violence and attacked property and the police, the Pakistani authorities, quote, used excessive force against protesters, restricted access to the internet and to social media, and carried out mass arrests. More than 4,000 people detained, many of them arbitrarily. But what was so stunning about those protests is that they weren't just anti-government, they even challenged the dominance of the once revered, almost untouchable Pakistani army. See, that country of more than 250 million people, which has long aspired to be a functioning democracy, has been ruled, directly or indirectly, by the military for most of its 75 years of independence. Currently, the Pakistani military has banned any mention of Imran Khan's name on air. Prominent journalists have just disappeared. Even Pakistani-American fashion designer Khatija Shah has been detained for taking part in the protests. And Khan himself, who survived an assassination attempt last November, is worried for his own life. The former Prime Minister, who is accused of cozying up to Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, hasn't had much support, though, from Western capitals, and he himself accused the Biden administration of being behind a coup against him, an allegation that the State Department has denied and that Khan has since backed away from. So, what should America be doing here, and what does the future hold for Pakistan and for Imran Khan? Earlier I spoke to the former Prime Minister of Pakistan and chairman of the political party, the PTI. Imran Khan, thank you for coming on the show. You are the former Prime Minister of Pakistan. Explain to our viewers watching in America tonight what you believe is the state of democracy, of freedom, of human rights in Pakistan tonight. How bad is it?
Well, maybe for some of us who've seen the evolution of our democracy over the last, especially 20 years, because you saw General Musharraf's martial law, and then in that martial law we saw what was called the lawyers' movement for the independence of judiciary. And during that time, the media asserted its independence. So we were moving towards a democratic system. Two governments came in, stood for 5 years and then left elections, another government took over. So we're moving towards, what we hoped would be genuine democracy, because normally we had a hybrid system.
जी, तो आप ये इंटरव्यू देख रहे हैं और सुना है आपने, इस सहाफ़ी ने, जितने भी इस टाइम टीवी पे झूठ बोलने वाले सहाफ़ी बैठे हैं ना, सबको चैलेंज कर दिया है। माई का लाल है तो इस सहाफ़ी का सामना करके तो आके टीवी के ऊपर बैठ के इस सहाफ़ी से बात करें और खान साहब की बातों का जवाब दें। मज़ा तब आएगा तुम लोगों का, झूठे सहाफ़ियों, बनौटी सहाफ़ियों। इमरान रियाज खान गैब है, उसके ऊपर तुम लोग बात नहीं कर रहे, और अरशद शरीफ के ऊपर बात नहीं कर रहे। साबर शाकर मुल्क छोड़ गया, पीरज़ादा मुल्क छोड़ गया। आप किसी के ऊपर भी बात करना नहीं पसंद करते ना, तुम लोग समझते हो आप लोग सहाफ़ी हो। तो ये होते हैं मर्द के बच्चे सहाफ़ी, जिनको सहाफ़ी बोला जाता है। तो आपने इंटरव्यू सुना दोस्तों, तो इस कमेंट्स में बताएं जिसको समझ आई इस इंटरव्यू की। तो ओके फिर, अल्लाह हाफिज़।